Shadow War. You asked for it, so let's do it. Please note there's far too much to cover in one video, so if it remains a popular enough topic, I'm happy to do additional videos, and I encourage you to leave comments, questions, or ideas for future videos as you watch. The Immortal Statue. Let's cover this first, since the fewest people have had the opportunity to pilot it, and there are many unknowns and questions for lots of players. The Strife buff is active, meaning most effects are reduced by 66%. Paragon actives, like Cheat Death, are inactive. You are unable to party or use crown powers, but it's worth noting at one time you could use the crown power prior to the engagement, so changes are being made for what it's worth. Warband rooms and buffs don't work. However, reforged lines, such as 6-piece Vengeance and Ancestral Powers procced from invocations, like the Stun, do work. This can be used to create timely burst windows. Set effects, with the exception of Mount Pack, work, and for those unaware, this also used to work but was disabled due to the strength of its hit point scaling effect. The leap ability can be used every 16 seconds, so you can time your bursts and positioning accordingly. Even after the changes to movement speed, the pilot is still able to avoid some damage from ground effects and beams by moving away. The ever-burning essence buff fills after 20 points, 1 point per globe that's dropped from killing enemy players, and it also appears to gain 1 point per set health lost, or perhaps time, but we're still trying to confirm which. Filling up the bar resets all cooldowns and unlocks additional abilities. The Immortal Fervor buff, which is gained from talking to the Historical Archivist after cycle changes, also works. This is a 5% attack speed and 10% move speed buff that you can control when you gain if you're willing to forgo a few daily rewards. So now that we laid the groundwork about the Immortal side, let's talk about being on attack. Range still has a favorable advantage, even after the changes. However, melee is already performing better. Mastermind is very effective for a Paragon tree here. And since hopefully the majority of your clan is here, you can arrange some groups to take advantage of it. 20% move speed? Did you hear that? I said 20% move speed. Try your best to come being at this cap. It's a huge advantage in here. The fight is staged in the largest notable open area in the game. Do not underestimate this secondary stat. Bring buffs and debuffs. Organize your party, and communicate a target player to group on. If they have a recognizable skin, or target location to drop buffs to maximize benefit. Remember when I said leap was a 16-second cooldown? Try to coordinate and maximize some burst accordingly. Again, there are far too many classes, skills, and builds to cover in one video, but I'll share some of my personal recommendations. Demon Hunters bring mobility, like daring swing and escape. Keep yourself positioned at max range, and as close to the center of the zone as possible to maximize uptime. Necros, with minions now being counted on the stat screen, we can see that minion builds are doing well overall. Personally, I run Molten Golem, Skeleton Champions, and Cloak of Quills. I choose these two minions over the mages because I can activate them to reposition them, allowing far better uptime than any version of the mage has to offer. It also frees up a slot for Wraith form, which has added mobility. Crusaders, Celestial Steed, Holy Banner, and Arrow Keeper. Coordinate when you're using Banner. Mount up and keep it under your party. Barb, Battlemaster's Helm for Warcry, and Group Sprint paired with the Pant Essence are enormous here. You can even run the Armor Shred Whirlwind if you have some heavy hitters and function as an all-out support to increase your clan's output. Monk, Shield of Zen with move speed for you and your party. Epithy's Blessing for Inner Sank, and although not as good as Warcry from Barbs or Banner from Crusaders because it doesn't move with you, if the Immortal suffers from the stamina debuff or is taking advantage of a burst window, you can still get very good value out of this. Plenty of mobility skills to choose from for a monk, so use the ones you're comfortable with that allow you to stick to the target, and don't forget Fists of Thunder. Wizard, Lightning Nova paired with the Siphon Offhand, a nearly spammable move speed increase. Teleport, just an additional way for added mobility again. Blood Knight, just kidding. In general, skills that deal damage over time do well, provided the damage isn't dealt from something like a ground effect. So we're talking burns, poisons, bleeds, etc. Heavy hitting abilities do have a place if you can coordinate your buffs and burst opportunities. Keep yourself alive. It takes far less time to get out and bandage than it does to res, meaning your overall DPS will increase with fewer deaths. So again, please leave comments and feel free to be specific so I can compile a list and include as much as possible for future Shadow War videos, possibly even dedicating an entire video per class. Thanks for taking the time to watch, best of luck on your upcoming matchups, and have a great day.